The World Cup 2014 in Brazil. This is SJ Radio.
Live coverage of England versus Ecuador now. And it's about to kick off. This is in preparation for what's going to happen for the World Cup. Every single World Cup match we will commentate for you. Well, the show will be commentated for. We're really starting. God. And it kicked off. We'll leave you.
Shame for asking key men to fill the usual roles. With this strange setting, strange atmosphere for the latest lap on the road to Brazil. The World Cup finals do seem a long way away from here, but Andy, this may be the last chance that a lot of these players will get to remind Roy Hodgson that they are around and ready.
Yep, absolutely right, Clive, and I think they'll all be genuinely excited about playing here today. I do feel, I remember in my own time playing, when you get back, you arrive in.
Here's really with an early chance. Just couldn't quite turn away from Guagua, and he's won a corner.
Yeah, just going to say, unlucky there, Wayne Rooney, just wouldn't settle down for him. He could have got that on the floor. That was a very, very good chance, but no, when you do make the journeys to places like Miami, you're here for reasons to get a feel of different weather conditions, etc., etc. You do generally get excited about playing, and I'm sure all the England players are. Unlucky. Good ball through.
Rather a straight punch by Maximo Banguera, the Ecuadorian goalkeeper. But evidence there that although Wayne Rooney may be playing from the left, he's going to get into goal-scoring positions.
I think it makes sense for the manager, if he wants to have a look at Ross Barkley, let him play with a bit more freedom. He can be a little bit more spontaneous in the number 10 position, but he and Rooney can switch. Ross Barkley's certainly got enough about him to just drift over to the left now and again if Rooney all of a sudden wants to take up a more central role. But I think to start with, let the youngster have the freedom to go and play and express himself. It's himself.
This is Guagua for Ecuador. Grueso has been caught in possession, and Barkley's got a chance to play in Wilshire, and England are certainly looking a lot hungrier than their opponents in these opening stages.
Absolutely. Ecuador very sloppy actually. England showing good appetite in the opening moments. Any sort of ball there from Ross Barkley. Jack Wilshire's in. They did really well to pinch it off Grueso, and that's just got to be a better ball. It just needs to be in front of Wilshere. He can hit that first time. England could well have scored there.
Another corner kick though, and another punch, and a little bit more pressure from Ricky Lambert this time. Banguera throwing his weight around. Ricky Lambert of Liverpool. Oxlade-Chamberlain fed into Rooney. Here's Luke Shaw. Rooney just unable to return the compliment, and Valencia gets it up to Caicedo. Right back is Paredes. Towards the giant Caicedo. Shaw did just enough in front of him. Wilshere to Frank Lampard, captaining England this evening. And now Ross Barkley. And one thing that strikes you immediately about this latest breed of young England players is their confidence. They seem completely unfazed by any circumstance that they're put into.
Absolutely right. Whether that be Raheem Sterling, Luke Shaw, Ross Barkley, any of them. They don't play with any fear, do they? They want to get involved, they want to get on the ball. That's how you want it.
Iobi to Montero, who will provide a good test for James Milner this evening. Jones with a sharp challenge. Who made such an impact as a second half substitute against Denmark in March, and who has edged Ashley Cole out of this squad. He's starting an international for the first time this evening, and so is Ross Barkley. Just 73 minutes of England experience to his name prior to this game in 4 substitute appearances. Big occasion for both of those players. Behind Milner. His throw is straight to Oxlade-Chamberlain, and here's Lambert, fed through to Barkley, offside, flag is up.
It was a sharp flag, wasn't it? I think it's a correct one, but he's good at that, Ricky Lambert. When he drops off into the hole, he's very accomplished at receiving it. Just having a little look, you just see there that just offside, I think, just off. But the right idea, again, with a forward like Ricky Lambert, you need people running beyond him. You need others to just make up that ground. That's not his strength, turning and running in behind. He likes to drop in, receive it, hold it, and then wait for people to join in or go beyond him.
England have won both of their previous encounters with Ecuador, notably in the last 16 of the 2006 World Cup in Stuttgart. Game settled by sports scene these days. Oxlade-Chamberlain. Typically bold run by a man who hasn't started a game since the FA Cup semi-final back in the 3rd week in April.
As soon as he saw the opportunity to travel with the ball, draws the foul.
Stolen again by Lambert. Support from Oxlade-Chamberlain. Lambert rolled into Lampard. In fact, Lampard usually hits the target from there.
Yeah, he does. England at the moment are a yard sharper, thinking smarter as well than their opponent. Once again, Ecuador in good, comfortable possession. They give the ball away. Good numbers in the box. Oxlade-Chamberlain does well to drop it out. Again, Lambert got his head up. He's looking for people arriving, and normally Frank Lampard hits the target, or at least makes the goalkeeper work there.
England could have been a couple of goals to the good already. Smalling doing well under some pretty physical pressure from Caicedo. And here's a chance for Valencia. Driven a little wide. Enner Valencia passing to Antonio Valencia, no relation to Caicedo. Milner will have to see this out. I think he's seen it out of play, as he knows. Tracks stayed down on the far side. Iovi. It's a good cross and a really good header. And Ecuador take the lead. Enner Valencia with a thumping header to a really good cross from Walter Iovi. Took out an England centre-back, and Enner Valencia was unopposed as he scored.
It's a great ball in. It's the first time Ecuador opposed any sort of threat at all. Luke Shaw doesn't really attack it. Chris Smalling looks like the ball's just beating him a little bit, but if that's looking like it's coming over his centre-half's head, then Luke Shaw's got to get round. He's got to make sure he's just making up that ground, at least making life difficult.
For the coach, Reynaldo Rueda, another goal for Enner Valencia, who has been scoring freely in the Mexican League this year.
That's one of those situations. Luke Shaw feels Chris Smalling's going to deal with it. The centre-half's always struggling to get it in between the two of them. Then Valencia steals in, gets his head on it, and that's a really good finish.
Really finding Lampard. It's a good challenge that time. Navarro just threw himself in front of the England skipper, but it is a corner. Well, good start. How about the goal?
Exactly.
England were on top.
It were looking quite sharp, but disappointing again. Stop the cross if you can, deal with that, get out there and smother that. If you can't, then get hold of people in the box. There was enough red shirts back there to deal with that cross and to sort it out. Bit better communication.
Milner takes. Run back strongly by Oxlade-Chamberlain. Chris Smalling is still forward here. Wilshere to Barkley, and now Lampard. It's a difficult pass, trying to get Oxlade-Chamberlain in behind the fullback. Phil Jones calmly back to Ben Foster. I don't think it's to the back of his net. Rooney with Shaw overlapping. Tried to lift it into Luke Shaw, but he's been penalised. I think he was offside. The flag's up on the near side.
Little scoop pass there from Wayne Rooney. Luke Shaw's just straight a yard offside. England certainly look like they can make progress going forward, don't they, in the opening moments?
Goal scoring was Ecuador's problem in qualification. Just 20 goals in the 16 matches they played in the South American League. Well, they've scored from their only attack so far. Shaw to Wilshere. Barkley couldn't quite protect that, and Paredes slides it back to Banguera. Here's the goal scorer, Enner Valencia. Back to Antonio Valencia. Jones sorts that one out. Oxlade-Chamberlain finding Milner at the second time of asking. Here's Lambert. Milner has gone on. Ricky Lambert's pass just a little overhit.
Yep, that's a careless one from Ricky Lambert. He's better than that.
James Milner did fill in at left back at the end of an international against Belarus, some 4 seasons back now. There's actually been speculation since he indicated he might want to leave Manchester City that Arsene Wenger sees him as a possible right back for Arsenal next season. I know that Milner's ambitions are still to play at the heart of the midfield, but it's the heart of the England defence that was found out there.
Was a good ball in, but again, you can't get there, just nudge the forward player, just ease him under the ball, whatever. Get a little bit closer, communicate better, have an understanding of exactly where each other are. I'm afraid there, they've just got caught out, they just slept for a split second, they're one down. That's international football. And when you look for differences between what we see week in, week out at home and this sort of football, that can happen. Ecuador hadn't shown anything, but they get into a decent area, someone's got the quality to produce a cross, and all of a sudden you find yourself trailing again when you look like you were really in control of and had started quite brightly.
Rooney got a little nudge there from Paredes, but kept possession. Barkley made a good searching run beyond Lambert. This is Shaw, Lampard, Oxlade-Chamberlain. Helped on by Wilshere, little back heel from Barkley, and this is Wayne Rooney. That's really good football from England. Just a little glimpse of something extra that Ross Barkley can give you.
Yep, again, started with Oxlade-Chamberlain picking the ball up, but again, good numbers in the forward areas there. Just needed someone, maybe Jack Wilshere, to gamble on the end of that. I think he felt Wayne Rooney might try and cut that back with his left foot, went to the outside of his right.
Guerreiro. Here goes Antonio Valencia. I know he can shift. This is the other wide man, Montero. He's quite racy too. James Milner had to catch up with him and concede the corner.
It's good work from James Milner. It's always the difficulty when you're asked to play out of position sometimes. Okay, when you're striding forward, joining in, attacking wise, but when you've got to do your defensive stuff, and he stuck to his task very well there. Well-timed tackle. Now this is where you need to make sure everybody's aware of who they've got, who you are talking. Not anything in and around that 6-yard box that either the goalkeeper, Ben Foster, comes and gets it, or you put your head on it. Do not let your man get anywhere near it.
Valencia working the corner short with Montero. Everybody back to their stations. In towards Arazo, who had a little flick. Guagua had a swing at it. Dangerous ball back in, eventually away by Jack Wilshere. The bounce, Foster committed himself, and a Valencia say though. Valencia, Montero. Towards Noboa, headed away bravely by Jones. Strong play on the edge of the penalty area from Grueso. And it needed a scrambling save from Ben Foster. That's good wandering there, the England goalkeeper.
It's good play from Ecuador, that persistent play. They kept recycling the ball, kept it in, they kept the pressure on, and England looked rattled and looked a bit unsettled and nervy and edgy the way they defended that situation. Goalkeeper did well to back away from that and get back on his line, but from here, they're unlucky. That's a decent try. Goalkeeper does well to get behind that one, but from a nothing sort of scenario, England were panicking, a little bit unsettled.
England have got a free kick here. Referee, who is an American official, Jair Marufo from El Paso, Texas, saw no advantage accrue, so it's awarded an England free kick. Roy Hodgson's team look pretty good coming forward, but a little shaky going the other way so far.
Just needs a voice for me, Clive. It just needs a leader. It needs someone to just sort things out back there a little bit for 5 minutes or so.
This is Walter Iovi making his 90th appearance for his country tonight, and the last thing you need is a groin injury on the eve of a World Cup finals. He was part of the squad 12 years ago that went to Japan and South Korea, real mainstay of their team, and this is the worst nightmare for a coach like Ronaldo Rueda in what is just a warm-up game. Seeing a player pick up a pretty innocuous but concerning injury.
Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain just kept his body in, didn't he, and just rolled Iovi there. And just as he turned away, just pulled up a wee bit, and you're right, you can just tweak your groin, something like that, but he's got to be very careful.
The man who created the Ecuadorian goal after 8 minutes with a fine cross walks away rather ruefully. Looks like he's going to return, which seems a little foolhardy. So close to the big party, but he's back on the field as Iovi. Lampard to Milner. Lambert, thumped away by Arazo. Shaw into Barkley. Guagua got close to him.
Yeah, very tight to him, wasn't it? Yes, Barkley's got to protect that, got to make sure he hangs on to that.
Caicedo did reach that. Directed it behind the supporting end of Valencia. careless. This is Montero. Getting the right number here. Wasn't the best of passes. James Miller's lucky boy
to pass that there. He's pinched it off for James Miller. He should just drive straight at Phil Jones. They had 2-on-1. Enner Valencia, Jones. They had 2-on-1. Enner Valencia was there as well.
No foul on Wilshire by Noboa. Valencia, to his namesake. And then Montero. He's just kept that in. This is Noboa. Caicedo. Got Montero in here. Foster committed. Well, he was second in the race, but he managed to smother the attempted cross by Montero.
Yeah, good work that from Ben Foster. Very good play as well from Caicedo. He just delayed that pass. He just wanted Montero to just dip in behind James Milner, played it inside him. Very clever ball.
Ayobi to Noboa. Wilson made the challenge. Barkley emerges with the ball. He's got away from Ayobi and he's got plenty of support here. Ross Barkley. Rooney to his left. Oxlade-Chamberlain to his right. Lambert ahead of them. Barkley looking to go it alone. Now plays in Oxlade-Chamberlain. Maybe just delayed the pass a split second too long. Oxlade-Chamberlain trying to revive the move. Has got to the dead ball line. Great run. And Barkley denied by Noboa at the last moment.
Well, that's nice and bright from England. I agree with you, Clive. I think Ross Barkley, he either gives it a fraction earlier to Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and busts the gut on the overlap, or he has the shot himself. This was the second situation where Oxlade-Chamberlain kept the ball, got to the byline and forced the corner, but that's better from England. Genuine opportunity that. Just think the only disappointment is that Barkley didn't really work the goalkeeper or produce a better opportunity.
Corners towards Wayne Rooney. Just couldn't quite get the leverage that he was looking for. Well, plenty for him to ponder in these opening 20 minutes or so, but England have been behind since the 8th minute.
Sharp, wasn't he, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain there, where he got to the byline. Good tight, neat footwork right on the byline. Then he's looking for somebody, couldn't quite do it. But what was interesting was when Ross Barkley picked that ball up midway inside his own half and immediately burst forward. And it looked dangerous there. There was a genuine threat.
Lampard just beyond Rooney. Antonio Valencia. Caicedo. Now Grueso. Montero. Valencia wandering. We see Grueso here linked with Chelsea and a couple of sources in the last couple of days. And the strength of that, it's only his third international appearance, the number 23, he's currently with Stuttgart in Germany. Now Jack Wilshere down. It's not something we want to see. He's on his feet and shot now, moving rather gingerly. A little casual from Barkley. Montero. Well, pacey on the flanks, Ecuador. Rooney seeing out his defensive duties against a familiar opponent, tracking Antonio Valencia back. Fred is unable to control. Rooney. Is it back from Lampard? Now Oxlade-Chamberlain. Lampard. Milner. Wilshere. Short of Barkley. Now Lampard. It's worth a go. And he worked the goalkeeper. A pretty comfortable save for Banguera, but it was on target from Frank Lampard.
Always trust Frank Lampard, don't you, when he gets that sort of opportunity, 25-30 yards out. First touch is always good to get out of his body. Just has one little look and then he hits it. He never lets you down in that respect. Just a little bit surprised the one he had in the opening moments of the game. He didn't really work the goalkeeper, but that was a really good strike.
Corner towards the head of Lambert. Luke Shaw. Lost the ball to Naboa. Here's Walter Iobi. Jefferson Montero. Felipe Caicedo. Paredes. Montero with some space. Caicedo. Ona Valencia. Lorenzo to Antonio Valencia. Oh, goodness, he hit that with some whip.
Yeah. Seen him do that in the United shirt a lot. Antonio Valencia likes to just get it out of his feet and really thump it across the 6-yard box. He's not really looking for anybody. He just wants to smash it across there as hard as he can and ask somebody to get on the end of it.
He was given the captaincy of Ecuador by Leonardo Rueda because of his closeness to Chucho Benitez, who died tragically of heart failure last summer while playing for his club side in Qatar. There was a huge sense of loss in all of Ecuador. Benitez, who had been known to Birmingham City fans, would almost certainly been part of their team for the finals. And Valencia has a tattoo on his shoulder in tribute to his great friend. Milner. Wilshere. Just beyond Oxlade-Chamberlain. Just caught on his heel slightly. He wasn't expecting the pass. Lampard, his professional future may well lie in this country. He will cut his ties with Chelsea on July the 1st. Finding Oxlade-Chamberlain. Lampard here has admitted having talks with the New York City franchise, which will come into the MSL next year, but even if he were to sign for them, he'd have 6 months and more to fill at the start of next season. Milner. Oxlade-Chamberlain. Useful ball in towards Lambert. Might be able to smuggle it in. Backheel against the post. Now it's in. I think Wayne Rooney might have got the final touch after Ricky Lambert had hit the post, but the sheer physical pressure seemed to intimidate the goalkeeper after a useful cross came in, and it's Rooney who benefits.
And I think Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain's been the sharpest England player on show this evening. That's a great teasing ball in that Ricky Lambert first must have thought he has to score, dropping it down off his chest. Then he tries to almost backheel it into the net. And Wayne Rooney doing well just to follow it in and stab it over the line. But again, Oxlade-Chamberlain's looked bright whenever he's had the ball. He's looked dangerous. He wants to get beyond people. That's better, much better.
It all happened in the crowd and in the blink of an eye, but there was a hint of a handball against Lambert and then a hint of an offside against Rooney, which may well be worth examining at half-time. Wayne Rooney scores his 39th England goal. His first since he headed home late Humanity's cross against Poland in that vital final qualifier in October.
It's a decent ball, wasn't it, from Phil Jones initially out to Milner. Drops it inside for Oxlade-Chamberlain. Just looked a little bit sharper he has. His forward play. Dangerous whenever he's picked the ball up. That's better, because I think England, although they've been trailing, they certainly haven't been inferior, I don't think, for too long to this Ecuador team. They slept for a moment, conceded a poor goal. It just looked a little bit shaky, a little bit edgy without the ball when they're going back towards their own goal. England defensively not quite as strong as I think the manager would like. Lots of changes have been made this evening. Just need to tighten that aspect of their game up.
Is tiptoed into the penalty area here. It's again to Chris Smalling. Rooney is fifth on the England all-time goal-scoring chance, and now just one behind the fourth placed Michael Owen.
Certainly there's a player there on the line, Guagua. It's difficult to see.
He's beyond the goalkeeper there, really, isn't he?
It's difficult to see from that angle exactly how many players were indeed behind the goalkeeper.
Jones fired into Oxlade-Chamberlain. He really was fired in. Clever play from Montero again. And a good run from Enner Valencia. He's elusive. Montero tackled by Lampard. This is Nobot. Montero does hold the width for the team, and Ecuador do like to fire those down. No balls out to him. It's a player that Antonio Valencia reportedly recommended to Manchester United last year. Plays his club football in Mexico. Meant for Barkley.
It's meant for Wilshere, that one.
This is Enner Valencia. Foster came a long, long way and made life very difficult for Enner Valencia, but England got away with that.
They did. In the end, Chris Smalling found himself in a very deep position, playing everybody onside. He wasn't really in tune and in line with his other central defenders. All of a sudden, one mistake, and Enner Valencia is very close to getting in again. Ben Foster can thank himself lucky he didn't make any contact there.
There's certainly nothing indecisive about Ben Foster when he makes his mind up. He comes all the way, but that's not the first time when he hasn't been first to the ball.
Again though, it's when England lose possession of the ball. It's that split second, isn't there? And they just look a bit ragged.
Milner to Lambert. In towards Rooney again. And Guerra decides to punch, and punch pretty accurately to the skipper. This is a great run from Antonio Valencia. Paredes fires it in. Well, dealt with that by Jones. It was awkward. to Rooney. Inroad to Rooney! Good chance there, just reaching for it a little bit. He was trying to divert the ball. There was a bit of pace on the cross from Shaw.
It was a good cross from Luke Shaw because he cuts it back. He could have gone across the 6-yard line. He just cuts that one back and Rooney just doesn't make the sort of contact that he wants. He's stretching for it just a bit right at the end. Just trying a big side foot on that in towards the far post. Possibly have left that for Ross Barkley, who was lurking just behind him, but that's better play from the left back. He's always encouraged with the Southampton team to get forward and make up the ground. He does that naturally, readily. That's where he's at his best. It's a good ball back.
Paredes. Well defended by Shaw. Good ground play. Ecuador's campaign starts the day after England's on Sunday week with a game against Switzerland in the capital Brasilia. Honduras, who are England's opponents here on Saturday, and France are the two other teams in their group. Lampard was fouled. Shot. Barkley hasn't been as prominent as he was in the opening exchanges. And for glory here, and he does strike the ball so sweetly. Ross Barkley.
Did it very well, didn't he? Again, initially just turned very easily, comfortably past the two Ecuador midfielders that confronted him. In the end, looking for options, decided to have a shot. Nothing wrong with that.
And either foot, he scored a brilliant left-footed goal past Joe Hart towards the end of last season.
He scored a great one. His left foot against Norwich as well at the start of the season. He's got that in him.
And best of all, that wonderful run from inside his own half at Newcastle towards the end of March. Oxlade Chamberlain, it's a good ball driven into the path of Ricky Lambert. Also caught in possession, he was fouled by Guerrero.
In the end, Guerrero looked like he just managed to tow the ball away from Wilshere, but maybe not before he'd stuck a leg out there and just maybe clipped his ankles and put him on the ground. But Jack Wilshere allows people to get too close to him. Invariably, he ends up coming off second best. He's got to just be a little bit lighter and brighter on his feet, move the ball, pop it off and make an angle.
Important evening for him. He hasn't started a game since the beginning of March. Lampard with the free kick. Headed away by Antonio Valencia. Lampard in towards Smalling with some space. Now, is he impeded there? I don't think so. Arazo is a big man. Didn't get away with the handball.
Barkley as well, but certainly he was as good at that as anybody.
Montero again the target for the diagonal pass, which is slightly miscued.
I think for Ecuador they started poorly. It looked a bit sloppy in possession. And then out of nothing they scored a good goal, great cross, very well finished. And they had one or two moments with Valencia and Caicedo looked like they were going to cause Montero down the left side, a bit of a handful. So it's a good test, good workout this for England.
Valencia. Strong Caicedo. Wilshere and Smalling combined to sort it out. Jones, Barkley, Wilshere, Lampard, Rooney. There's a lovely playing surface incidentally. Both teams have no excuses for their passing. Iobi. And Valencia just there ahead of Jones. Wilshere. Rooney. Barkley. It's a space for Milner on the near side. Found by Jones. Barkley wasn't the best of passes from Milner. Gueso escaping on Valencia into the path of Caicedo. Chris Smalling comes across with a bit of pace. The times his challenge well.
Did well there, Chris Smalling, Clive, very well. It's a dangerous ball James Milner gave Ross Barkley there. He wasn't quite ready for it, they weren't in tune, they weren't in sync, and that's exactly the sort of ball they want to pinch off you, a team like Ecuador, where they're athletic, they can get at you.
Better ball from Milner finding Rooney. Wilshere. Lampard. Rooney again, it did sit up nicely and he struck it nicely too.
Did hit that very well. Always inviting to hit like that when they just pop up on the half volley. Good strike from Rooney. The goalkeeper's always behind it. I think there are certain aspects Roy Hodgson would have looked at and he'll have thought, yeah, I quite like that. He's seen some good appetite at the start and decent intensity in the opening moments. Poor goal they conceded, lack of communication at the back. Some bright sparks going forward, particularly Oxlade-Chamberlain for me, but again a few concerns with when they haven't got the ball.
Nothing perhaps to affect that penciled team sheet for Manaus versus Italy as yet. Sure that anybody has really stood up and demanded a place in that team here this evening. To see that acceleration from him and a fine return pass from Lambert. I don't think Wilshere really needed to pass it, but he's found Rooney. Now Milner angled in towards Lambert, it ran away from Marazzo, but Paredes was able to clear only as far as Oxlade-Chamberlain. Rooney. Milner. That's a good ball round the corner. Oxlade-Chamberlain, fine save. And the ball ricochets a couple of times across the penalty area and falls kindly for Naboa to bring away.
It's good stop from Banguera, that is. Excellent play once more. Milner finding Oxlade-Chamberlain. That time I think he does make the right decision. Got to have the shot there, nothing really on.
Antonio Valencia. Wasn't the worst cross either, but Caicedo hadn't really caught up with play. Well, England got a shock inside 10 minutes here. They were behind very, very quickly. Enner Valencia gave England a headache with an 8th-minute goal. But they were never second best at any stage in the game. And with a little bit of luck and a certain amount of controversy, Wayne Rooney equalised. We'll be hearing from Ian Wright, Lee Dixon and Glenn Hoddle in just a moment. At half-time in Miami, it's Ecuador 1, England 1.
Continental Tires sponsors ITV's coverage of England.
Some think we're all the same, but we're not. Others see the game as only one result, but we see hundreds of opportunities to win. The number of corners, the time of the cards. Every goal scored is important as the next. Every shot, every block, every save. From the first to the last minute, we make every moment matter. Join us and enjoy gambling responsibly. William Hill, the home of betting.
As the temperature soars and the humidity rises, bodies will weaken, performances will suffer. Only those who know how to beat the conditions will rule.
Love the family. Love this Persil 45 wash pack for just £6. Right now at Morrison's.
For every doubter, there is a believer. For every cynic, a supporter. It's not the name on the back of a shirt that matters. It's the 3 lions we have on the front. The lions we have on the front. This is never a team of 11. It's a nation of millions. Support that lasts a lifetime. And together we stand. For we are England, and we are proud. I hacked the city to make it my weapon. My enemies may run Chicago, but I control it.
Watch Dogs, out now at Sainsbury's. Includes 60 minutes of exclusive gameplay only on PlayStation.
Love summer? Love any 2 of these big packs of beer and cider for just £20. Right now at Morrison's.
You 2 are going to college!
They're taking Jump Street.
You alright?
I'm the first person in my family to pretend to go to college.
To a whole new level.
Are you 2 messing around in school again?
How you doing?
You look 45 years old.
I'm 19, so...
You were thrusting so hard I thought your hip popped out.
22 Jump Street.
Win this shape, we can win it back, okay?
Ian, my case still works.
Forget it. Come on.
Ian! You forgot to call the other team.
I'm a strategist. I can't do everything. I need help. Sport is nothing without support. Lend a hand and help a club near you at itv.com/localheroes.
Continental Tires sponsors ITV's coverage of England.
Hello, welcome back to Miami. Ecuador 1, England 1. It's going to be an exciting World Cup if it carries on like this, Glenn Hodling. Look like they could score or concede at any moment.
That's the problem, isn't it? You know, you've summed it up there, Adi. At the end of the day, we look nice and dangerous from the very start. In the last third, a lot of good play. Possession of the ball, which in this heat they're going to need, and they're going to need that in Manaus. But I must say, defensively, they look a little bit all over the place, England, and there doesn't seem to be a shield in front of that back four. Lee said before the game that he was interested to see how the back four cope against an Ecuadorian side who are a little bit elusive, which you're going to get in the World Cup. They look a bit panicky to me, and things have got to be fair to Roy, he wouldn't have had much time to work defensively with this back four. He wouldn't, so I wouldn't be panicking at home too much now. I think it'll be tighter, much tighter in the World Cup, but we do need to get a bit tighter in this game. If not, we might concede again.
How's the experiment working for you, right? If it's a chemistry experiment, you'd be changing the bumps.
It's okay, to be honest. I feel like the Ox has done very well. You know what I mean? I said he gets the ball and he does run at people. He's playing like he normally plays, and and Ross Barkley as well. You know what I like about him, people might think that he's given it away a couple of times and that, but he's still doing what he does. And that is the main thing. He's not changing it and trying to be safe. He's still doing it, and it's nice to see Wayne Rooney, after he nicked that goal, just ease himself into the game, get on the ball a bit more. So we didn't panic, but it is nervy at the back. The two boys at the back look really nervous.
Okay, Dr. Defence, Lee Dixon. What's him to be the problem with that goal?
Well, Glenn was right. We were a little bit all over the place in the back four, and obviously Milner on the right side. It's been, and the goal really summed it up. You know, the ball got knocked in originally. Milner's just slightly out of position. It actually went out of play. We can see from here. Clear the ball here. It's actually out of play, but they recovered from that. But they don't close the cross down early enough. Oxlade-Chamberlain, Milner can't do any more than this. He's got his man. He can't move. Oxlade-Chamberlain's got to get round and stop the cross. And look at Shaw on the far, marking the goal scorer. He has to be goal side of him. He can't allow him to get on the inside. He does. It's a brilliant ball in, and it's an absolute superb header from Valencia. The ball itself.
That's international football, isn't it? Shaw's got to learn, and this is what these games are about. You know, if you're out of position, just a split second, it's in the back of the net.
And this was straight from a goalkeeper's kick. Sloppy, don't win the first header. Now all of a sudden they're playing catch up. From a goalkeeper's kick, you shouldn't be in this sort of trouble, Glenn, should you?
No, I think their starting position, again, that alludes to they haven't been together playing, you know, but they're experienced enough now. Those two lads have played together, Smalling and Jones, and it's the start position, isn't it? Sometimes you drop too deep too early.
They're scrambling around when they shouldn't have to be from one kick, and that's not good enough. But as I said, it's all a new back four, so they'll get used to it.
Shortly before Ecuador scored, Glenn, you said to me, this could be 4 or 5-0 to us. But how wrong you were, they went up the other end. But if you can have all the attacking play in the world, it counts for nothing if you know, an albeit decent cross is going to end up in the back of the net the other end.
That is international football for you. You can dictate the play like we did. I mean, their goalkeeper's been worked a hell of a lot. It's not like we haven't worked their goalkeeper. We could be 3-0 up before they even scored, but you have to respond, and we've responded okay to it.
Okay, but we told the South Americans will win at any cost. There was a suspicion of handball. Was there not with that goal?
There was a little bit, but this is Oxlade-Chamberlain at his best, trying to create space for himself right in. He just comes nice and short.
I like the way he comes in there, but then he gets back involved again. Once he comes outside, so he's back involved and he's driving forward. And the cross is a fantastic cross. And there's that's handball. Let's face it. I mean, I'm not gonna. He's lucky they didn't knock it behind the post there, Lambert, and Wayne Rooney got a little tap in. And like I say, off of the back, see his arm. Off of the back of that, Wayne Rooney's just got on the ball more, and he's just got a bit more confident. And look, you can see how relieved he is.
The only negative thing with this handball, guys, is we want that in the tournament. We don't want it in the friendly now. We want to use that up in the tournament.
Yeah, I feel a bit for Ricky Lambert as well, because what's happening is he seems like he's a bit squashed in there. He's a bit squashed. There's not enough space being made for him to get on the ball and bring people in.
I'm just not sure about Wayne being on that left-hand side. He wants to come in all the time, and I think he's just got to hold his position a little bit more.
Right. Yeah. We'll talk more shortly. Second half is on the way. First, another chance for you to go to Brazil.
Listen up, because this is your chance to get to the World Cup final. Courtesy of Continental, we're giving you the chance to win 4 tickets to the World Cup final in Brazil on Sunday the 13th of July, plus £10,000 in cash. We'll fly you and 3 mates to Brazil for an amazing sporting experience. You'll be put up for 2 nights in Rio with accommodation and get to soak up some real World Cup flavour. For your chance to win the ultimate football experience, just text the word final to 65554. Text costs £1.50 plus 1 standard network rate message. You can also enter for free at the website. Entrance must be 18 or over. All entry routes close at 5 p.m. on the 11th of June 2014, and the winner will be contacted later that day. Entries made after this time will not be counted but may still be charged. Good luck.
Continental Tires sponsors ITV's coverage of England.
Well, right. Hold me heads up. It's that time again. Have a bang on that. Get Bet 365 on your mobile or tablet now and discover the pleasures of the in-play. Let's get on it. Bet 365. Bet in play now.
I was thinking to myself, how did TV get this good? I'm talking masterpieces from the biggest crowd pleasers. Shows I do not want to miss or spend ages finding. That's where this beauty comes in. Sky Plus has got even better. Now it's straight to what I want. I could discover new stuff like that. Bosh! And the box set's on. Or catch up on last night's telly. It's a work of art. This little fella makes it quicker and simpler than ever before to watch the best TV out there. Sky Plus, the best just got better. The Carlsberg Fan Squad. England's journey here, full of highs and lows. Finds his man. Nice interplay by England. That is a lovely touch. Surely! The referee raised play on!
Árbitro, que eso es tiro mano.
He's changed his mind! Oh! Now that calls for a Carlsberg!
There's nothing nicer than waking from a great night's sleep. From the warm burrow of a luxury king-size Hypnos bed, floating on over 1,000 pocket springs. What could be nicer than that? You can always rely on a Premier Inn for a great night's sleep, wherever you are.
Gentlemen only. The new intense fragrance. Givenchy.
Save money on your car insurance and feel epic. You're So Money Supermarket.
Better beware of skin irritation. Don't let sensitive skin irritate you. Try the new Nivea Men Sensitive Moisturizer with 0% alcohol. It works against reddening and skin irritation. Nivea Men. It starts with you.
Continental Tires sponsors ITV's coverage of England.
Mark
It's only an equaliser in a fend against Ecuador, but the relief is absolutely palpable from Wayne Rooney. Hadn't scored in 4 games for England. His 39th England goal was a long time coming. He's put in a shift. What do you make of it?
Yeah, I mean, he showed the relief that he shows there. He hasn't scored a World Cup goal yet in his career for all them 39 goals. He hasn't scored a World Cup goal. You know, when you're a goal scorer like Wayne, you need a goal to give you confidence, and goals come in batches. So he's absolutely delighted. Even if it was a scrappy goal, that will give him a lot of confidence. But I think, you know, second half we've got to now look to see whether he plays a little bit down. He might play down the centre for a little spell, but I can see Roy giving him 90 minutes here.
As a workout go, do you think they're getting their match fitness up here? It's not particularly warm now. It's cooling down a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. I think they are, because we're moving it pretty quickly. We're still trying to break as quickly as we can. You know what I mean? Like I say, Wayne Rooney's getting on the ball more. He's getting more confidence, and I'd like to see him, like Dicko said, stay a little bit wider a bit. Give Ricky Lambert a bit of space to work in as well, and the same with the Ox. The Ox can give him a bit of space and then join in with him once the ball gets into Ricky, because I think it's passing him by a little bit. To be honest, he's not getting on the ball enough for me. Really.
Just going back to the fitness, actually pressed in the first 15 minutes. England, they were pressing all over the front. They were pressing all over the front line. They were, and I thought they can't keep that up for 90 minutes. They didn't in the end, but I think that's a sign. I think Roy said to him, you know, get your fitness in, press when we need to, and I think it's been a good workout for him.
I think in Manaus it will be done in spells. You can't do it for long periods, but it's an experiment where you go, right, for 5 minutes we're going to start, then we're going to drop, then we go again. If you try and press for too long, as we know, in this heat or in Manaus, you cannot do it.
Okay, let's rejoin our commentators for the second half. Andy Townsend alongside Clive Tilsley.
This is where Dan Marino used to connect with Mark Clayton and Mark Dupert, the Marx brothers, in the mid-80s. The Miami Dolphins actually moved here in 1986, so the combination was just about at its peak when this became the home not only to the Dolphins but to 5 Super Bowls. It's hosted baseball too, and all of the England players were talking about how good the pitch is. Miami is very much in the grip of basketball fever at the moment. The NBA Finals begin on Thursday, with the Heat again facing San Antonio. So LeBron James and Chris Bosh are the heroes of Miami sport these days. That one change saw Felipe Caicedo go off, and on his place Joao Rojas. No changes for England.
I'm sure the manager will want the same sort of start as he saw in the opening 45 minutes, Clive. Don't want to let it go flat. A good exercise, make it a real worthwhile one. Keep the tempo up. England always at their best when trying to play on the front foot. Like some of the counter-attacking pace that we saw in the first 45 minutes. Barkley, ex-Champion, I think, did well in that respect. The guys summed it up at half-time at the back. Just need to get together a little bit more, narrow down. Just don't give the opposition those little rooms, those pockets of space to start knocking it about. Jack Wilshere, I'd like to see him get rid of it quicker. Too many times he gets caught on here, he gets bundled to the floor. He needs to move that ball sharper. I know he's again another player that's looking for fitness, looking for his edge. But again, when he gets hold of that ball, he's got to pop it off a bit sharper.
Pretty cynical challenge by Grueso on Barkley. Lampard trying to play it in quickly towards Lambert. Wilshere. Here is Lambert. Rooney's gone on. Really waiting in the centre. It's reached Oxlade-Chamberlain. Good sport from Milner. Scuffed cross though. Navarro away. And Valencia's gone up front now for Colombia, with Rojas, the substitute, operating just off him in midfield.
It's a good play actually from England a few moments ago. Got a little ball that Rooney stood up, just needed someone, Barkley or Oxlade-Chamberlain off the far side to take a gamble. It's a good ball.
Oxlade-Chamberlain. Hodgson did start him in the opening game of the European Championship finals against France. Something of a surprise selection that night. Wilshere towards Shaw. Now the conjecture as to who may pull on the left for England. I wonder if Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain's coming into his mind.
He's not doing himself any harm today. He's played very well this evening. Really good. He's been sharp, bright. He's been England's most potent weapon when they're moving forward.
He didn't play a lot of football last season for Arsenal because of injuries, so in that sense he's reasonably fresh. He's lost the ball there in a dangerous position. Well retrieved by Shaw. Wilshere has found Oxlade-Chamberlain. He's found some space. Turned away by Iobi. And there's a break on here. Enner Valencia. Got options right and left. This is Antonio Valencia. That's a very important header by Phil Jones. Only back to his Manchester United teammate. Valencia fires it in at high velocity again, as is his wont. Nobody can quite get on the end of it.
And Glenn spoke about that protection in front of the back four. It isn't natural, is it? A natural look about that in terms of protecting the two central defenders in Wilshere and Lampard. Again there, Ecuador able to pick that ball up and travel 30, 40 odd yards, taking England back to the edge of their own 18-yard box. In the end, that thumping cross once more from Valencia is just about snuffed out.
Christian Navarre and Dinamo Moscow is the man down. It's his challenge on Barkley which caused him the problem.
Just toe ends that one away, whether or not he just rolled his ankle a little bit or something. He's not happy, is he?
They're not going to take any more chances with Noboa. On this place will come the very experienced Edison Mendes. We've seen him around the Champions League scene. Now plays for Santa Fe. So has had time in Europe. PSV Eindhoven. It's the third Ecuadorian international to 100 caps. This is number 111 for Edison Mendes, number 8. The sunshine. Jack Wilshere beating off Barkley, able to return the pass. 5 hours behind you here, still late afternoon in Florida. There's Mendes. Coach is a Colombian who took Honduras to the last World Cup and will be facing them in the second game of the tournament in just over a fortnight's time. And the Honduran coach used to coach Ecuador. Barkley, cleverly done. What can he make of it? Ross Barkley may go all the way. Instead feeds Ricky Lambert. A thumper from Ricky Lambert. And England lead for the first time on the night. There was a chance there for Ross Barkley to cap his individual run with a goal of his own, but instead he thanked Ricky Lambert for his third goal in 5 internationals.
Great turn there. That one initially. Guaguara, the centre-half, goes in to try and pinch it. He doesn't get it. Now all of a sudden it's about picking your head up and picking the right pass. Thought he was going to hit that. In the end it was a fraction short almost to Ricky Lambert, but what a strike. That is a sensational strike. He could have hit it maybe there and again just here, but decides to unselfishly lay it off. What a hit that is. Some strike that.
And he scored with his very first touch in international football against Scotland back at the very start of last season. 2 goals, 2 assists, and hit the post in his first 2 internationals.
I do like Ricky Lambert. Player that I've watched him in Southampton shirt. Really looking forward to seeing him playing in the Liverpool one. I think he's clever, I think he's smart, knows what he's good at. Affects the game in good areas, peels on the back post on the back shoulder of centre-halves when he has to, drops in and is more than happy to have it into his feet. And as he's shown there, given an opportunity, he can finish.
He must be walking on air at the moment. It's truly a dream move for him. Back to Liverpool, the club that released him at the age of 15, the club he supported. There's a lot of the tattoo on his shoulder. So I'm told, I haven't seen it myself.
That's better from Jack Wilshere, second half, getting the ball in those advanced positions. Look at that, he's hit it off the outside of his boot, and he has absolutely fizzed that one. Whoosh.
Well, the corner that Wilshere has won will be taken by Oxlade-Chamberlain. That's towards Lambert again.
Now it's important to see how England play. They had the lead, they've had to chase to get back into this game. Now they've got it. Purpose, make them work now.
Into the path of Wilshere. And running into traffic again. And Montero. And can run with the ball. Good cover though for England. Jones got a foot on the ball. May have knocked it against Montero. Indeed he did.
He's quick, Phil Jones. Across the ground, does well there. Stayed on his feet. Make sure he gets enough on that. It's a poor one from the goalkeeper.
Antonio Valencia. Mendes. Ayobi. There's Montero again. And retreat by Valencia. It's deflected awkwardly, and again Jones attacks the ball well. Oxlade-Chamberlain, he's got real strength too, and strength of will. Fabulous run this by Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Come back for Lambert, not needing the goalkeeper's tip to turn it behind for a corner.
Sensational run once more from Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. And that is brilliant when you have a player in your team that can pick a ball up like that and drive 40, 50 odd yards, and they weren't catching him, they weren't getting back at all. Ricky Lambert just couldn't wrap his foot around it. I thought the goalkeeper got a touch on it.
Yeah, goal kick's been given. Reaching for that and ran away from Chris Smalling. Could have been dangerous, that challenge. Just foot low.
England do have those players, right? They do have the likes of Barkley and Oxlade-Chamberlain this evening in particular. If they can turn and get away from that initial tackle that's snapping away at their heels and then drive across the ground, get into that space. It's just then about picking the right pass, the right moment, releasing it with the right weight at the right time. They look a different team then. I'm sure with Roy Hodgson's preferred back four, that'll give them something to think about, the inclusion of those two youngsters, because they do get the team out when they're under the cosh. They can very quickly break out and look a real threat.
We'll see Raheem Sterling in a minute.
Yeah, he's another one who can do exactly the same.
This is Montero. Barkley was escaping there. Colombia knew it. Ecuador knew it. I'm sure Colombia did too, but Ecuador wasn't fouled him.
Exactly right, Mendes there getting too tight. Again, same principle there. Unfortunately that time, Ross Barkley just couldn't get away from that poor challenge.
Rooney just been tripped. Just had full starts of the major tournaments. Wayne Rooney wasn't fully fit until the last group game back in 2006. He was injured out before the last World Cup. He was suspended until the third game of the Euros 2 years ago. Oxlade-Chamberlain again forcing a corner. In fact, it's a goal kick. It's come last off his shins. He's certainly forcing his way into his manager's thoughts.
No question about that. No question at all. The way that England are playing with 4-2-3-1 formation, he is ideal, perfect for it. I mean, Roy Hodgson's used him in a more central role as well. He's comfortable in there. But I really like the way that every time he's picked the ball up, he's tried to make the difference. He's tried to take someone on. He's tried to beat a man. He's not just content with picking it up and just rolling it inside. Yes, now and again you've got to keep the ball, of course, but he knows that his job in the team, he's quick, he's direct, he's got to get at people. He's done it very well.
Started off last season with a superb volley in the Maracanã for England in a friendly international against Brazil. And we'd love to go back to that country next week and leave his mark on the World Cup finals.
Good skill, that Montero.
Antonio Valencia. And we just have a little concern over Jack Wilshere, who's on the floor at the moment.
Just got clattered by Montero, actually. Inadvertently sort of run into him. It's good feet initially. So he made a couple of challenges, then he certainly clattered into Jack Wilshere.
Roy Hodgson is prepared to give this starting 11 a good hour. Getting toughened up for the World Cup finals. One or two of these Ecuadorian challenges are tasty. Lampard to Wilshere. Here's Barkley. Rooney. Shaw. Rooney. Worked out to Milner. Oxlade-Chamberlain is down the centre for the moment, so there's nobody in front of James Milner.
That's okay, yes. Decent possession from England there. Trying to probe, but if it's not on, keep it, go back. Don't be afraid to go back to the goalkeeper. That's a sloppy one.
Milner's giving it away. Susanna Valencia. James Milner fortunate.
Yeah, that's too risky because he didn't really look comfortable there, James Milner. Just turn that one inside, expecting, hoping, perhaps, that someone's on the end of it.
Oxlade-Chamberlain's lost the ball inside his own half. And got it back. Guerreiro was setting himself for a shot and Oxlade-Chamberlain caught him. Now what happened after that? Guerreiro was upset. Oxlade-Chamberlain's down.
Guerreiro looked like he threw a leg to me into Oxlade-Chamberlain when they were both on the floor. The Arsenal man's on his way back now. He just gets a little toe on it there, bumps him up and then watch, and it just almost throws himself into another challenge there.
Well, he's kicked Oxlade-Chamberlain's what he's done. That's why he's come down. It wasn't a foul.
In all fairness, Clive, Oxlade-Chamberlain's got back and got a little touch on it as Guerreiro's about to have a shot. And then from there, the Arsenal man comes off second best for sure.
Still sitting down. The rest of the squad taking on fuel whilst Harry Lewin sees to Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. He might just have twisted his knee there as he came down. Guerreiro fell on top of him. We are back here on Saturday evening for England's other game in Miami. You'll be able to see that live on ITV at 9:30 this coming Saturday evening. England against Honduras. I think so. John Flanagan make his international debut here for England in place of Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Raheem Sterling's about to come on too. John Flanagan of Liverpool and John Stones of Everton have been part of the group here in Florida. They won't travel on to Brazil, but they've had a taste of how it feels to be around the international squad, and Stones on Friday and now Flanagan here tonight getting a taste of international football for real. James Milner can move back into a more conventional midfield position for him. There will be further substitutions after the free kick. Number 10 Walter Iovi in the foreground is a left footer, and this will probably suit him best. It's hit by Iovi and well protected by the England wall. Lampard's down. Away by Jones. Montero. Found a cross short, just about through, and that's a wild volley from Valencia.
Good play from Montero on the far side again. Good footwork from him. Wall certainly did its job. It looked like it hits Frank Lampard just on the chin, in the throat area.
It's Wayne Rooney is coming off for Raheem Sterling. Well, I know exactly what Glenn Hoddle means about Wayne Rooney and World Cup goals. He's actually scored more World Cup goals for England than any other player, but they've all been in qualifying. They want to see some from him in the finals ahead. What part will this young man play in them? Raheem Sterling had the last 25 minutes on Friday. Going to get a similar run out again this evening. Played at number 10 and then on the left against Peru. This is Milner trying to play in Barkley. Looks like he's going to start here on the left where Rooney was operating. Time by Jones. He's really grown into this game, Phil Jones.
Good challenge again. Better that he just tracks the runner. A couple of times against Peru the other night, I thought England's back four looked a bit square, throwing an arm in the air, trying to play offside. I like to see defenders do their job. Track runners, deal with it.
Paredes with a driven cross. Sterling's exclusion from the starting 11 tonight was interesting. I think Roy Hodgson wanted to look at Ross Barkley in the number 10 role, wanted to give Wayne Rooney some more match minutes. Just how prominent in Hodgson's thoughts do you think Sterling is as an England starter?
I really think he's very, very close. I do. Despite the fact that he's only coming on late in this game, obviously got the one against Honduras at the weekend, so he may well figure from the start in that, but from what I've seen of this young man, it's not a problem to him. He's physically up to it, mentally it's not a worry. He can play as a 10, he can play on off either side. I think he's a real threat, I do, and I think must make special mention for Oxlade-Chamberlain. I thought played excellent this evening, and let's hope that is preventative in leaving the field rather than he's got anything serious there, because he's been excellent.
Ingram's got the ball. Barkley trying to protect the ball. Quite had it under control. Antonio Valencia. Well, that's one kindly from Montero, and England are undone here. It's cut back to Enner Valencia, hit the post. And Phil Jones is able to smuggle it behind for a corner kick, and it was a bad miss in truth by Enner Valencia.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't a good ball back. That one is a bad ball back. It's bobbling, it's not settling, it doesn't invite you to go and hit it. Credit the red shirts for flying back behind Ben Foster. You know, they get back in serious numbers, but It's a scruffy, scuffy shot, and it was a poor ball back to him, if truth be told. Big chance, that.
There's a certain amount of fortune in the way that Montero was raced in the first place.
Agreed. He got in behind Chris Small and he did it just inadvertently. Just caught him a bit flat-footed. There was a big chance there. They had 3-on-1 at one point. England did well to get men back and get on the line behind the goalkeeper.
Well, Montero has been causing a little bit of trouble to England down the left-hand side. Has now been replaced by Michael Arroyo. He's quickly involved here from the short corner. Valencia. Arroyo. Valencia's got round the outside here. There's a good headed chance for Arazo arriving at the far post.
Good play from Antonio Valencia down the right side. And again, he usually wants to flash these across the 6-yard box. It's better, I think. Gives people a chance to get on the end of it. Arazo there's above. Bill Jones by the looks, but just can't really get the header down on target. It started the second half well, I thought, England. Better control of the ball in the opening 15 minutes of the second half, but again, just a couple of moments. Ecuador have livened up. Now they just need to make sure that they don't give anything sloppy away.
Sterling. He's got some strength, hasn't he? Raheem Sterling. Barkley just unable to make the most of it. There's nothing of him.
No.
He's tough. Arroyo. And Valencia. Good work by Chris Smalling. Antonio Valencia rather isolated here, one-on-one with Shaw. Goes back to Arroyo. Oh, he's substitutes only been on the field a couple of minutes, but he's just latched one past Ben Foster, and Ecuador are on terms. Michael Arroyo.
What a strike. I'll tell you one thing you never ever do in international football. Don't you ever let anybody move that ball half a yard from that sort of distance and look to strike it. You've got to get in their face, you've got to close them down, throw yourself at it. Not enough Jack Wilshere, not enough James Milner. The goalkeeper's not going to get anywhere near that. He's hit that so hard and so true. International football, these guys hit that ball so hard and so true. You do not give them any sort of invitation to do that.
It's funny when Antonio Valencia decided against taking on Luke Shaw. I thought he probably made a mistake. Just seemed to roll a safe ball back to Arroyo.
And that gave people a chance to go and get close, get tight, Clive. They didn't do that. You cannot let people shoot from that sort of distance.
So England have been behind in this game. They got in front in this game. And now they're back on terms in this game. Luke Shaw. Couldn't find the cross he wanted. Enner Valencia for Ecuador after just 8 minutes. Wayne Rooney equalised before half-time. Ricky Lambert with a superb goal in his second half, but now the best goal of the four has been scored by Ecuador.
Some strike by Arroyo, really was beautifully hit. When it gets tough, you've got to dig in, you've got to keep getting close, you've got to keep shutting people down, making them go wide, make them go around you. Whatever. Don't give people a chance to have a shot from that sort of distance. Because you'll pick plenty out your net if you do.
John Stones is going to get another run out here. Sterling. It's got away from Paredes. Before for Frank Lampard, never quite had that under his spell. work that by Luke Shaw.
Very good. Strong as well, isn't he? Antonio Valencia is a very powerful man. Luke Shaw there standing up to him, forcing him wide. Good defending.
He's enjoying himself now, the goal scorer. He won't enjoy that so much. James Milner wasn't enjoying it, was he? Luke Shaw is going to come off for John Stones to win his second England cap. Nice touch, a good forward thing, I think, by Roy Hodgson to get a couple of the young up-and-coming players involved. His encouragement of everybody who's playing at the junior levels for England, that there is a clear path from under 17 to under 19, under 20, under 21 and into the senior squad.
Both John Flanagan and John Stones have entered this game at a time when Ecuador pumped up at the moment. Valencia's been prominent down the right side. So those two young guys will need to get together with those two centre-halves and make life difficult.
Wilshere. Stones playing at left back. Behind Raheem Sterling here. Here's Stones. Sterling. Rolled into Lambert. Back to Barkley. Now Lampard. Mainly a free, but he couldn't smuggle it out to him. Intercepted by Rojas. Arroyo. Rojas. He's got forward here from left back. Arroyo. He's not going to have another blouse, is he? Thought about it. Dead feet his skipper, Antonio Valencia. Not come for Iovi. Good work there by John Flanagan. Ball from Lampard. Barkley took it well too, but they also got to him.
Yeah. Himself in a nice position there, Ross Barkley. Just drifted in behind Ecuador midfield, but just couldn't get that first touch right as he turns away from it. But good spot from Frank Lampard. The idea's right. That's exactly where you want him.
Chris, as soon as they're ready, they want him. As soon as they're ready, they want him.
Poor ball, just about reached Gruesa. Play this. You saw Valencia short, Stones able to clear it. Iovi.
Better shape about Ecuador for me now. Now Rojas has gone out on the left side. They've just got Enner Valencia playing up down the middle. Antonio Valencia here on the ball wide, so they've got that three forward, but the extra one in the middle of the park all of a sudden.
Challenged by Wilshere. Valencia with Sterling to think about, and didn't hold out the challenge either, and Antonio Valencia has reacted to Raheem Sterling's challenge. I didn't think the foot was particularly high. Jack Wilshere getting involved. Right, Valencia to boil over like that. Phil Jones just trying to calm Valencia down. He'll know him better than anybody out there.
I think the referee hopefully is just going to let everything simmer down, just let everyone calm down a wee bit. You're right, Valencia's not usually the type. I mean, certainly Sterling comes flying in. But I think Valencia is very, very silly.
Competitive game.
I mean, he's taken the ball, Clive. He has gone over the top of it a little bit yet, and he could well have got a card himself, Raheem Sterling, a yellow card for that one himself. But you can't react like Valencia does there. I think the intent was to play the ball, that's for sure.
Oh, it's a red card for both of them.
And look, and the truth be known there, Antonio Valencia has ended up getting the pair of them sent off for that reaction. That's what's happened there.
I have to say that will have no bearing whatsoever on what's coming at the World Cup finals. There may well be some correspondence exchanged and some kind of sanction for both Sterling and Valencia, but they will not receive a World Cup suspension of any kind.
He didn't take quite enough of the ball, did he, Raheem Sterling, in terms of when he made the initial challenge? But I think it was an honest one, I genuinely do. I think it was one where he's trying to get the ball, he rolls over it, he does catch Valencia with the follow-through. But he's all right enough to jump up on his feet, sprint after Sterling.
Substitutes there, they didn't help.
He doesn't need to, he's better than that, he doesn't need to get involved in that. Valencia was silly.
Always trouble when Liverpool and Manchester United come together, isn't there? And a far-flung Shaw, the rivalry boiled over, and there's Steven Gerrard at Raheem Sterling's shoulder. I mean, he's had a big influence on Sterling this year. I think Raheem Sterling's very unlucky there. Free kicks rightly given, 10 against 10. From Arroyo, and a header by Raza. I think all you would say is that Roy Hodgson is being cautious with Sterling. He is 19 years of age, he is very inexperienced, and then there is a great clamour within the country to see him in the England team, and Roy Hodgson has always been fighting that to protect him a bit, I think, and maybe we've just seen a little bit of the reason why.
I personally quite think he's a bit unlucky, I do. What I do know is whenever you go into any World Cup, you often see this. Games are refereed very differently to what we see at home, and they won't be tolerated, that sort of challenge. But I only felt it was mistimed. I felt it was an honest one. I didn't think it was malicious. You know, you're asking guys to commit to challenges. Of course, every now and again they're going to get them wrong. It's the nature of the game. I just think Valencia was a bit silly with his reaction. Listen, he could easily have stood up on his feet and give Sterling a little wag of his finger and said, "Listen, you be careful, son. Catch me like that again, and I'll have something to say about it." But it was a daft reaction from him, I really do. Stones.
Into Lambert. Now James Milner. John Flanagan arriving. Milner. Corner kick. Jordan Henderson and Danny Welbeck slipped and playing for some late action. Milner with a corner. Goalkeeper's got a good distance on the punch. Away by Paredes. Sun Life Stadium, bathing sunshine now. Wilshere to Lambert.
It's better again from Jack Wilshere there. He's been a bit sharper with the ball at his feet second half.
First to change for Ecuador. Valencia, who scored that early goal, is coming off. It's Alex Ibarra.
Cambio en la selección de Ecuador.
Replace his
Alex Renato Ibarra.
Football Holland will be Tess Holland.
Entering the match for Ecuador, number 5, Alex Ibarra. Leaving the match, number 13, Ener Valencia.
Here's Barty, and the flag's up. Opportunity for England to make their changes. Ricky Lambert's race is run. He's added to his
substitution for England. Entering the match, number 11.
a lot of achievements in the last year. Danny Welbeck will come on for him, and Ross Barkley will be replaced
Also entering the match
by Jordan Henderson.
Number 14, Jordan Henderson.
I think they're sensible changes as well, bearing in mind that team's now also down to 10, which is that bit bigger. Players are getting tired. Fresh legs is always important at that stage of any game. Ross Barkley would have enjoyed his experience today. Ricky Lambert, thumping goal. Brilliant strike from him. Didn't have too many opportunities, but certainly heavily involved in both goals.
Milner typically playing in his third different position of the match on the left. Henderson over on the right. England playing 4-4-1 since the dismissal of Raheem Sterling.
It is something that I'm sure Noel Lewington and Roy Hodgson will be making sure the England players are fully aware of. You have to be very careful going to the tournaments, the way you go about your challenges. You really do. The most innocuous ones can end up with cards. Of course, a massive bearing on the outcome of matches. If you lose players in these big matches, it will have a serious effect on your chances. So you have to be aware there's a time when you have to commit full-blooded to a challenge, and there are other times maybe when you don't.
Henderson. Flanagan. Henderson turning in the corner. An impossible gap between
21,534.
21,000 here.
Thank you,
Still concentrating.
He's also got a bit of cramp, I think, there, Jack Wilshere, yeah.
And he needed the football, that's for sure. Played half an hour on Friday after the last 15 minutes of the FA Cup final. It's the only competitive football he had since breaking his foot on England duty against Denmark in the first week in March.
It certainly looked like he got caught, didn't he, as he went past the first challenge from Rojas, and whether it was a wrap on the shin and then the cramp sets in sometimes, can be difficult to get rid of. Keep an eye on him.
This is his 16th appearance, or 17th appearance for England, and he's only completed 90 minutes on 2 occasions, and he's not quite going to make it to the end this evening. Alan Lallana will come on in his place. Who looks almost certain to start with Steven Gerrard in England World Cup midfield. Will it be Henderson with him? Will it be Wilshere with him? Will it be Oxlade-Chamberlain with him?